And feel free to unmute yourself too if you want to chime in. All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. Happy Monday. What is it? What day is it? It is September 8th. Welcome to our Monday night huddle. I have been like chewing up this book, The Multiply Method with Sarah Robbins. I mean, if you don't know her story, she built to the top in one company. That company changed their model. She went to another company and she's built back to the top in like record time. She's amazing. And what I love about her is that everything is so, I mean, simple and duplicable. What simplifies multiplies. So this book, if you have not read it yet, I highly recommend it. If you have read it, I might sound very much like the book because I'm using a lot of it for our training for this series that we have, the basic skills training over the next like, I think it's 7, 8 weeks, whatever it is. We had our first week last week on presenting, or no, I'm sorry, not presenting, on prospecting, which is really inviting. And tonight we're going to talk about presenting. But before we jump into that, at the top of the call, I was asking some people if they had already registered for the roadshow in a city near you. If you haven't yet registered for that roadshow, I know here in Anaheim, a lot of us are going, and that is October 10th. It might sell out. I think capacity is like 1,000 people. So guests are welcome. We just have to register them. If they're not, 100% confirmed, I highly recommend that you register them. And then if they can't make it, just deregister them. You can do that in the registration portal of the website. Just to, make sure that they're accounted for. And that's really what Arbonne needs it for, is just to get an idea of the head count. So I would hate for it to sell out and you not be registered, or it sell out and then you have a guest that, you want to take that we can't get in. So just kind of, try to be ahead of the curve on that. So if you haven't registered, this is just a little gentle reminder. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, which I did not get into on the first Monday of the month last week, Power to District. Power to District is the promotion that Arbonne gives us, where anyone who is not yet a district manager can get to district manager with a minimum of 3,500 SLQV, with a minimum of that being, I believe it's 800 or 1,000 SLQV. CQV. If you don't know what those acronyms and stuff like that means, please reach out to your mentor, your sponsor, whoever it is that kind of accountability partner, and please let someone know, because if you don't know what those acronyms are, then I definitely want to do a training on that. So Power to District, if you're not yet a district, it's a great time to do it, and especially to build up some momentum as we head into the end of the year, which is our busiest season of all. So those are our announcements. Did I forget anything? Anyone want to chime in, add anything before I jump into our topic for tonight? No? Okay, great. Okay, so we are going to talk about presenting. Presenting and sharing our business opportunity powerfully and professionally. So let me bring up my notes here. So we're diving into the second core skill, presenting. And last week, like I said, I talked about prospecting or inviting. So skill number 1, inviting, prospecting. Skill number 2, presenting. So I have gone through, in my 15 years, several iterations of presentations over the year, several PowerPoint presentations, several Is Arbonne for You, documents, several, we had the 4 quadrants at one point, but basically, here's what I've learned. The most effective presentations are one that's focused on the person, the prospect. I don't know why I hate the word prospect, but focused on the person that you're sharing with, the prospect. Number 2, they're short and sweet. And here's what I hope is, helps gives you some relief. The third is that it's conversational. It's actually not super scripted, like word for word. Yes, we have like, a cheat sheet with some bullet points, but you really want to make this presentation less presentational and more conversational. And I'll go into that. I know in the beginning when we're first learning, we're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know, blah, 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 I remember. So of course, there's bullet points or there's things that you may have heard that you are passionate about sharing, but the more you present, the more conversations that you get into, the more that these bullet points, I have like this arsenal of sound bites that I can weave in and out of a conversation because I've presented so many times that now I can just have a conversation and, will I share every single point? I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully I'm sharing the trailer, not the 2-hour movie. But that's what I have learned, that the more that I do it, the more that I get comfortable with it, the more that it became more of a conversation. And before I go into, breaking this down, I want to share something that I heard from Executive National Vice President Alexandra Salve say once. She said that when she shares Arbonne, she pretends like she's Peter Mork's daughter, like our founder. She pretends like she's his daughter, like he's her dad, like he's the one who started this company. He's the one that, built this legacy for them, for their family. And think about what we would present. How would we treat this? What would we sound like if Peter Mork was our dad? I loved that. I wanted to just give you that. Maybe, if that moves you, play with it. If it doesn't, toss it to the side. But okay, let's break this down. So this whole presenting, it should be simple. When someone expresses interest in learning more, we focus on 3 things. And when I say when someone expresses interest on learning more, this was, in last week's call in the invitation. So if you haven't listened to that call on prospecting or inviting, that's, you'll learn when somebody expresses interest in learning more. But when they do, we're going to focus on 3 things. We're going to focus on why. So why we started and why we joined, because the truth is people don't join us because of what we do. They join us because of why we do it. That's a whole other training in itself, by the way, just, formulating your why. Number 2, what? So what are we doing? So this is where we're going to, use that is Arbonne for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the company, a little, company story, maybe a little company history, the original clean beauty brand. We've been around for 45 years, the countries we're in. Then we're going to talk about the products a little bit, the ingredient policy, what sets us apart, the different maybe product categories that we have. And then of course, the opportunity. And then, so that's the what. And then number 3 is the who we're looking for. Who we're looking for and maybe how they can see themselves in it. And then of course we ask, who do you know that this would be great for also? Don't worry, I'm going to go into this further. That will make more sense. So let me just be totally honest. When I started and I just really committed to getting out there, and I built my business mostly one-on-one, some group presentations like Discover Arbonne's where we'd all invite people, but I was really the day-to-day was a lot of one-on-ones over Zoom, over coffee, over happy hour, over lunch, whatever. Not great for time leveraging, but that's just how I did it. And as a result, I was presenting a lot. And I'm starting to present a lot again. So doing all the things that I used to do so I can get all the things that I used to get, right? So the truth is that after a while, I was whoa, this is a lot of work. And I just felt like it was a huge time commitment between scheduling and preparing and doing them. I just felt like I was constantly just ripping through them. But the truth is that's how I got pretty decent at it. That's how I was able to start weaving it into the conversations and less presentational, less, going through a PowerPoint, although I know there's some people on this call that love that PowerPoint and love that I had it. But I don't always have to have that visual aid. Actually, now sometimes I'll ask people, Are you more of a visual person? Would you like me to, share some visual aids, or you want to just have it more conversational? When I give people the option, interestingly, they'll say, yeah, I want to see, I want to see. So anyways, I started fine tuning over time. I learned how to shorten them. I learned how to make them sound more like conversations. And now I actually enjoy them. They're actually really like they're easy on me. They're easy. I love it. And they're really effective too for my prospects. But these days, most of my presentations, really, let's call it my conversations, I try to let them last about 15, 20 minutes. I mean, I remember we would do Discover Arbonne's that were like, 45 minutes, an hour, and then 30 minutes. And now it seems like, a video, if it's past more than 5 minutes long, like, we've checked out after 2 minutes. It's crazy. So less is more, right? The trailer, they don't need the whole movie, even though there's so many fascinating things that we love about Arbonne, and it's so rich and just, so many layers of deliciousness, but we don't have to give them all of it. They're going to learn it eventually. But if someone has more questions, of course, it takes longer, but the goal is to just be really simple, create, like, have a connection, give them some clarity, and then hopefully eventually, create some duplication. Because this is the deal, you guys. When people join our team, the training starts actually the first contact you ever, or the first time you ever mentioned anything with Arbonne. There was a call this morning with Donna Weiser's team. I hop on their Monday morning success track calls, and she shared a coaching session with Richard Bliss Brooks, who's like huge in this industry. She coaches with him, and she shared of like a 15-minute coaching session. It's about how she uses samples to build her business. You have to watch it. But my point is that people don't do what is taught, they do what is caught. So the way that we share Arbonne with them for the first, hearing about Arbonne, that's when the training starts. The training starts the second they get the sample. The training starts the second that you ask them to take a look. The training starts the second you show up on social media and starts talking about Arbonne. That's like they're already getting an idea of what they think they have to do, right? The video I posted on Rising Tide Nation, I'll also put it in our text thread. Polly, I think that you asked that. Yes. I will put it in the text thread also, but it's also posted on our team page. Okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, where was I going with that? Sorry. Okay, so the training starts, that's not even in my script here or my notes. I'm off on a tangent. Sorry. So yeah, okay, so step one, let me just back to center. Step one, connect. So when I sit down with someone, now I don't launch into a script. Like instead, I just start by saying something like, so tell me what excites you most about, this business, or what excites you most about Arbonne, and what would you like to learn more about? This simple question just helps you focus more on the conversation. Well, focus the conversation on their interests. So what I used to do was talk a lot about myself and what I'm doing and where I'm going to go with this, and I, and I realized I would leave a lot of presentations not really knowing much about them, but they would know a lot about me and probably not a lot about Arbonne. So I really want to make it focused on them. And by the way, when you're focused on them, you really don't have anything to be nervous about. That's how I check in with myself every once in a while. Like when I feel like nervous, I'm like, oh, I'm so making this about me right now. So, that if that's you, think about that. Okay, so what excites you most about this business, and what would you like to learn more about today? That keeps the conversation focused on their interests. If they want to talk about the products, I'm going to go deeper there. If they want to talk about, the greens or the skincare, or the mushroom powder, whatever it is, if they want to talk about the products, I'll go deeper there. If they mention wanting extra money, that's where I want to focus. And if it's like a three-way, call or a presentation over Zoom where I'm launching maybe a new consultant and she has a prospect on, I'm always going to ask when we hop on a Zoom, I'm going to ask if you have any RSVPs. I'm going to want you to fill me in a little bit about them. That way, we're not spending all the time getting acquainted, and I'll kind of know where people are at, so I can try to focus to my conversation. Notice I said not presentation, my conversation more on what they might be looking for. So for example, I might say something like, let's see, um, thanks so much. Okay, thanks so much for your time today. This is a three-way conversation. So Maria told me really great things about you. She mentioned that you're a realtor and that you're really great with people. We actually have a lot of realtors who do really well in this business. So tell me, what excites you most about this business and what would you like to learn more about? And then I listen. This is the hardest part. I have to like stop talking and I listen. And then I'm like taking some notes. And when they share, that's kind of their why. So I'm learning what it might be. So that's my cue to share mine. So I'll thank them for sharing, and I might say something like, I'd love to share a little bit about why I decided to align myself with Arbonne and what excited me most about this opportunity. And then here's the key: your story doesn't have to be big or flashy. In fact, are you ready for this? It's more relatable and better if it's not. Because people are not going to think, they're not going to see themselves probably doing that. So for me, like when I was introduced to Arbonne, I was a super busy new mom. I was exhausted. I was skeptical, but I was curious and hopeful. I just wanted a way to make some extra money. I knew it wasn't a huge risk, although it felt really risky to me at that time. It was definitely financially out of my comfort zone for a girl that didn't even wash her face at night. Like it was like, whoa, 5 steps, like how much? Like seriously, that was me. So I get it. But I stuck with it because I was just seeing too much success, and why not me? So what I loved was that this business was low cost, low risk, flexible. I could do it on my terms. I could do it in part-time hours. It became profitable after amount of time. You get the idea, but you want to share something that's relatable. So like, what is it doing for you right now? And here's the most important part. Share what the business is allowing you to do with your part-time hours that you commit to it. Maybe it's contributing to your child's college fund. Maybe it's paying off bills. Maybe it's traveling more. Maybe it's funding your retirement. Maybe it's just being able to say yes to a friend at 2 o'clock, on a Wednesday to just grab a late lunch. Maybe it's you can go play pickleball with the girls or whoever at any time of day. Maybe it's that you can go for a walk at the beach anytime, whenever you want. Think about what the simple things Arbonne is giving you. It doesn't have to be big and flashy. So don't worry if you don't have a story where you're going to see in the video that I'm talking about from Donna this morning. Uh, Richard coaches her to say something like, this it's not about the fizz stick and trying the sample, but this is what's helped. Hey, try this. This is what's helped make me a fortune. Okay, we haven't made a fortune yet, maybe. So you might say something like, try this. This is the thing that's helping me save money for my child's college fund. But you get the idea. Think about what Arbonne is doing for you in your life right now, even if it seems small, because trust me, people are looking for ways to plug the holes right now. Maybe it's a vet bill, whatever it is. People don't connect with your paycheck. They connect with your impact. So essentially, your formula is, here's why I joined. And here's what the business is allowing me to do. That's it. That's it. Simple, truthful, and powerful. So step 3, I was right. So step 1, connect. Step 2, share your why. Step 3, share the what. Now it's time to talk about what we do. We're social sellers. We're independent consultants with Arbonne. We share two things. We share products and we share the business, the opportunity. So key things to highlight. This is on the, is Arbonne for you sheet. So things to highlight. My partnership with Arbonne. What sets this company apart? I'm going to do a little exercise with you at the end. So if you don't have a pad of paper and that's something to write with, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the end. The products. What results can people expect? What makes them different? What is it that you love about them? You don't have to know everything about anything or anything about everything. You just have to know what you love, what you use, and why you love them. Right? Facts tell, stories sell. Just whatever story that you have that is working for you. The pay and the perks, how we earn, how we get recognized. That's like, the 3 ways to win. And then the positioning is timing. The positioning and timing. Why now is a great time to join? Honestly, I think now is a great time to join because AI can't wash my face. AI can't, do face wash. AI can't like drink protein shakes. Like as long as there's humans with skin who like have to wash, and, consume, like feed themselves, like we're pretty good here. So I think it's a great time to join. And health and wellness, booming, on the rise, soaring, not going backwards, only going up, 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 up. Internet shopping, up. So position and timing, right? So step 4, share the who. Finally, you're going to transition into who you're looking for. We're looking for people who want to try the products and get great results, and people who want to join our fun, fast-growing team and profit by sharing their results with others. We're looking for people who want to try the products. We're looking for people who get great results. We're looking for people who want to join our team. And we're looking for people who want to profit by sharing their results with others. That's it. Then you explain the ways to be part of this. As a customer, you enjoy the perks. As a consultant, you talk a little bit about the compensation plan. And then I always end by asking, who do you know that this business and products would be great for? Do you personally have an interest in learning more? Do you have a personal interest in, in this? And I've been asking people that, like, you may not have a personal interest in it, but you might know someone who does. So I'm talking to so many people right now. My funnel is like, like exploding, and not with a whole lot of yeses, just a lot of conversations and a lot of different stages of the conversation. But it's really ramping up activity. And that feels good, by the way. That's the cure for all dis-ease in Arbonne activity. So there's more ways to present. Presenting always doesn't look the same. In fact, it hardly ever looks the same. There's multiple ways to share this business, but the goal is to have options that make it seem really simple, that make it simple and duplicable. Simple, 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 simple. We have to simplify as much as possible. So events, we can do those live, Discover Arbonne presentations, healthy happy hours. I mean, all those things we talk about. If this is new to you, don't worry, we'll do trainings on that as well. But you can also do them virtually. I do a lot of conversations. I like the word conversations better than presentations. Have a lot of conversations over Zoom or virtually, so that's great. A lot of people at once. We can host events in person, online, or hybrid. How about you can have one in person and Zoom someone in? So that's a great way to invite. That's one of the best ways actually to invite it for, to cast a wider net, do something in person and Zoom someone in. But we'll talk about a step-by-step system for hosting events on another training. So you can also do send a recorded presentation. Actually, Arbonne has fantastic Discover Arbonne videos in the MVP Collab vault. You can share them with prospects. You can find them according to their occupation. So if you want to find a Discover Arbonne from somebody who's in Arbonne that might be more relatable to the person that you're sharing with, you can always share a third-party tool. Also on the Arbonne app, we have quick IY stories from some national vice presidents on there that are, just a few minutes, and they're great sharing tools. You can also create your own short 5 to 8 minute Discover Arbonne video. In fact, I highly recommend that you do it and continue to do it just to get the marbles out of your mouth and, start building your leadership muscle. It doesn't mean that that's like going to be the one that you're going to share with people, but start recording yourself, start just practicing, start, getting the marbles out of your mouth and watching it back. It's painful, but you'll learn from it. It doesn't have to be painful, but I just make myself cringe. So let's see. So you can use, a third party one. You can use your sponsors, your upline. They're everywhere. And if you don't know where they're at, please ask, and we'll help you find it. So let's see. Three-way calls. Oh, and brand calls. Okay, I really wanted to have a whole training on these brand calls. But basically, they're three-way calls or three-way Zooms, the maybe like my consultant and their prospect and myself. This is great for third-party validation, especially with the consultant and their friend. Just having like a third party that can edify and validate the business and then also share just a different experience. It's one of the most powerful tools in our business. There's another call. It's on the Tuesday night huddle calls with Kelly GT or T. Is that, yes, GT? Is that what it is? I think that's her last name. With Kate Flanagan. Oh my gosh, she's talked about a new consultant that just came on board, and the new consultant booked 23 brand calls with her prospects and Kate. So 23 times, this new consultant is hearing these calls. So you're hearing it over and over and over. You're seeing that they all have a different tone and they all have a different, flow, but you're learning what it kind of, how they flow, how to vibe and how to share the information. And then the prospect is hearing it from somebody that's a little bit more seasoned. So these have been really powerful. A lot of the teams that are just exploding right now have been doing these three-way calls or brand calls. It's basically a quick Discover Arbonne. So they're just calling it something else. It's not, anything different than what, for those of us that have been here a while, what we've done or what we've been doing. So, okay. Let's see. So if you're booking these brand calls, which I highly recommend, your role, if you're, not a seasoned consultant yet, is, and you can be a seasoned consultant, by the way, on day one, if you want to. So your role is to simply make the introduction and then let your business partner ask, what would you like to learn more about? And then guide the conversation with what, we've covered today. Okay, hopefully all that makes sense. I was a little all over the place, but I'm really excited about all of this. So the power of presenting. So when I first started, actually I came across a different, stories and different articles. I'm going to share a couple of them that really had a profound impact on me. And I don't want this to freak you out, but I love it because it's the truth. And I love it because it's also going to make you realize, one, you haven't been hearing no enough. And two, there's nothing wrong with you if you're hearing no a lot. Okay. So it's the story of a leader named Mark. And he was like a minister from Texas. And his sponsor told him, this business can set you free financially in 1 to 3 years, but only if you conquer 3 enemies: rejection, deception, and attrition. So Mark he did this huge presentation and he invited 200 people to his home for a presentation. He must have had a big ass house, but he invited 200 people and 80 people said no. Of the 120 people who came, because 80 said no immediately, of the 120 who came, only 70 actually watched his presentation. Of those 70 who actually watched the thing, 57 said no, 13 signed up, and 12 quit. Okay, that was 200 people all the way down to 1. And yet, one person who stayed, that one person who stayed went on to help him build a business worth $50,000 in profits for him a month. Okay, here's another story for you. And these are not just like little urban legends. These are true. Another leader, Bill. Actually, I think he was from Amway. He shared his numbers. Okay. He presented conversations he's tracking with 1,200 people. Okay, I know. 12, like if I had heard when I, aligned myself with Arbonne that I was gonna have to talk to 1,200 people, honestly, I probably wouldn't have done it because that just seems like so many people, but I'm sure I've talked to over 1,200 people. So here's, in my 15 years. So here's Bill. He presented to 1,200 people. 900 said no. 300 joined. 85 kind of did, something a little bit, but 35 built a business. Of those 35, 11 made him a millionaire. So, lesson, success in this business, it's a numbers game. It's a conversation game. Your success is directly tied to your willingness to keep going. Your success is directly tied to how many conversations you're willing to have through rejection, through deception, and attrition. So in my own journey, you guys, I've had to push through the same things. Like right now, I'm pushing through it. I'm just like, oh, something's got to give. And I've been doing this long enough to know that it does. Like it's not if, it's just when. But I've sponsored probably, I have to say, at least a couple hundred people. At one point in my organization, when we were like rocking, there were about 3,000 consultants in 6 countries. Our volume peaked to about 600,000 a month. And that's just a fraction of what like top leaders are doing. I have friends and leaders in this business who have, do 5 million a month, 1 million a month, 10 million a month. Some have been doing it longer than me, some have not. But here's the truth. We're all just 1 or 2 rock stars away from a completely different business. I didn't say 1 or 2 conversations away. I said 1 or 2 rock stars away. And 1 or 2 rock stars away, we have to sift through a lot of people. That's a lot of conversations. So we probably have to spend a lot less time with just a lot more people instead of so much time with so few people, or asking, saying new things to old people when we need to be saying all the old things to new people. So my encouragement to you is this: start tracking your no's. Understand that no's are normal. They're not a personal rejection. They're just personal preference. It's just your job to share. It's their job to decide. If you keep prospecting or inviting and you keep presenting, you will find your leaders. You will find your team. The numbers never lie. So the quick exercise that I said we were gonna do. Sorry, this was a long training. I thought it was short. Let's take a minute just to map out your own presentation flow. Okay, so I'm just gonna recap because I was all over the place. We're gonna recap what we did. So we're gonna start with our why. So write down a short why story. Just give me, just tell me why you joined Arbonne. Just why did I join Arbonne? The products, the business. Don't make it long. Just jot down like a couple words. Or why did I join Arbonne? I joined Arbonne because I wanted to make some extra money to pay for my son's Montessori preschool. Okay, and then, so why you joined Arbonne. Now finish this sentence. In part-time hours, this business allows me to. In part-time hours, this business allows me to. I was talking to a consultant on our team on Long Island a few days ago, and she shared that she had let her PayPal, or not PayPal, her PurePay account, kind of add up. She doesn't do like the auto, like I don't let it add up. Like I need that money, it just gets transferred right away. But she let it like add up. And her daughter, wanted to take some extra, I think gymnastic classes or something, and like she had the money in there for extra classes. She had the money in there for a couple extra things that she needed to do before back to school. And that felt good to be able to say like, oh, you know what? I got it. She could tell her daughter yes. yeah, we can sign up for those classes, right? It just might be that simple. In part-time hours, this business allows me to pay for extra classes that, my daughter's been wanting to take. Remember, it's not about the big paycheck, it's about the big impact. So jot down what makes our partnership with Arbonne so unique. I don't know, Arbonne's been so good to me. Maybe it's our community.
Sorry, Claire, can you just repeat that last question?
What makes our partnership with Arbonne so unique? Like partnering with Arbonne, like what is so unique about it? I mean, our community. You can try to, you know, mimic our products or our branding, our philosophy. Like you can try to copy that, but you can't copy our community, our culture. What sets our products apart? What are some of the perks of our compensation plan? And why is now the perfect time to join us? So I'm just going to go through it one more time. This is how you're going to map out your presentation flow. Your why. I joined Arbonne because, and then in part-time hours, this business allows me to, and then 1 or 2 points, what makes our partnership with Arbonne so unique. And then what sets our products apart. What are some of the perks of our comp plan? I'm going to Tulum on Monday. And why is it the perfect time to join us? Because we're having fun. Because you're shopping for this stuff anyway, so you might as well make money. Whatever your answer is. I'm just being silly. Okay. So we've covered a lot. We've covered how to present simply and conversationally. Notice that I didn't give you like a script. I want you to be you. I want you to find your authentic you, and it's going to take some, several conversations to start feeling like you and naturally and authentically. So we've covered the why, the what, and the who framework. The why we do this, the what about, Arbonne company products, opportunity, and the who. We're looking for people who want to try our products and get great results, and who want to join our team and learn how to make money by sharing their results. We've talked about the different ways to present: one-on-ones, brand calls, events, sharing recordings, three-way calls, which are the brand calls. I know I didn't get into a lot of details with those. But yeah. And then the power of persistence and tracking our nose. We talked about that. So I hope you're feeling a little bit more confident. I hope you're feeling like you have permission to just, be conversational and not presentational. Um, I hope you learned a little bit. I hope this was helpful. I hope you had fun. Thank you for showing up. And next week, we're going to dive into basic skill number 3, which is closing. I look at it more like an opening of another conversation, but how to confidently help people take their next step once you've shared the business with them. Does anyone, oh, Steph, you raised your hand.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Claire. So good. So good. And it really reminds me of Sarah Dunning's 5 minute Arbonne in 5 minutes. It's so succinct and so effective. And yesterday we had that exactly, the validation of what you're sharing with us today. There was a guest there, beautiful Lisa had a wonderful guest there who was just great, Mary. And she asked before everybody was arriving, as people were trickling in, we just started talking and chit-chatting with her. And she just said, I didn't know if she was a guest or if she was a consultant or what she was. And, you know, if this was her first exposure or second exposure, we hadn't even gotten into that conversation yet. And she said, what do you like best about Arbonne? What do you like best about this business? And that's all really people care about. All the details will come, but people, I guess, increasingly, as you said, you know, everybody's looking to fill in the holes. People have various holes in their life and they're trying to fill them, whether that's through alcohol or exercise or business or movies or Netflix or whatever. And it struck me that she asked me that right out of the gate. It's not like we had developed rapport. That was just what she wanted to know. And at the undercurrent of that maybe was she was there, was before you had arrived, Lisa. And I thought, you know, is she trying to assess, is this worth my time to hear about this? And
Yeah, they have another meeting on Wednesday.
it's so good. And what a delight she was.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Lisa. Well, thank you for bringing her to the meeting because she was lovely and, you know, it was great. It was really great.
Can I share? I would like to actually share something about that. So I signed up for a networking event that I don't know what I did. I don't even remember what happened, but I couldn't go. And it was an event that I had signed up for I don't know, 30 bucks. I don't even know, whatever. But I was like, you know, I couldn't go. So I could just have not showed up, but I immediately started calling some, you know, people from my team that are around here, that area, and explained that, you know, I couldn't go. Do you want to go? And it just so turned out that Lisa's like, yeah, I'm actually right by there. I'll go over there. I'll go. So she went in my place and met Mary, who came. So if you ever can't go to a networking event or you signed up for something you can't go, call someone from your team and offer it to them. Because also, you know, for networking, like I'm sure, you know, the person that's coordinating the event, like they need people to show up too. So that's, you know, I was trying to be in integrity, integrous, and whatever the word is. Anyone else? Thanks for sharing that stuff. And thanks for supporting and coming to the meeting and sharing you with us. You too, Kim.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
All right, everyone. Well, I really hope that was helpful. I'm sorry, I was a little all over the place. Really, I've been listening to a lot of calls, and I just want you to like, there's so many things I want you to listen to. So I know it's a lot. I'm just in like crazy 90-day run mode. So I'm just like pumping my head with as much positivity and deliciousness and, you know, goodness to get the noise and the other voices out. Not like a crazy person, but just like, you know, the negative self-talk. Yeah, crazy person, basically. Yeah. But yeah, there's so many great calls out there. So if anyone that I mentioned tonight piques your interest and you didn't quite catch it, please feel free to reach out to me because I've got my finger on the pulse. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. Bye.